So God says in verse 10, Malachi 3 and 10, bring all those tents into the storehouse, and that would refer to the treasury, not the church, the treasury, that there may be food in my house. And he asking that they bring the Lord's tithe, or the Levite tithe, and all I promised to open heaven up and pour out for you a blessings that you won't even have room to receive. If you do what I say, God's going to bless you in a remarkable way. So God said, you robbed me, and because you robbed me, you cheated. And what you've done, you've cheated yourself out of a blessing. You just cheated yourself out of the blessing because I would have blessed you if you'd done it. And this was a form of taxation. When you look at the Old Testament tithe, keep in mind, it had nothing to do with free will giving. It had nothing to do with someone out of the heart to give a gift to God. It was a taxation factor. It's a 10%. It was a law. It wasn't suggested, it wasn't commanded, and it went, well, out of my heart, I gave 10%. Bless the Lord, I gave 10%. Bless my heart. No, you don't give a 10%. It's a law. You're not going to get blessed by the law. It's what you give after the 10%. It's called an offering. So if... Okay, now look, if you will, my head's hurting. I should have gone with that other part. Look at Deuteronomy chapter 12. Deuteronomy chapter 12. Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 10. Deuteronomy 10:12. Well, I'd give more to the church, but I don't like the way it's spent. I'm just going to withhold it. Yeah, right. Try that. You try. Well, I'm not going to pay my taxes because I don't like the way the government pays. Try. They'll take your land away from you. Deuteronomy 12:10, and I want you to see further. The Lord's giving some laws here, and He says in verse 10 that when you go over the Jordan and dwell in the land of the Lord, your God is going to give. I'm going to give you an inheritance. And when He gives you rest from all your enemies around about, so that you dwell in safely, and once you're settled in the land, then there a place which the Lord your God shall choose to call His name to dwell there. And that would be, of course, the temple and the sanctuary. Look at verse 10. Does it say, there shall you bring all that I command you, right? Your burnt offerings, your sacrifices, your tenth, the heave offerings of your hand, and your choice vows which you vow to the Lord. Right? Look at verse 17. Drop down to verse 17. You may not eat within the gate the tenth of your grain, or of your wine, or of your oil, or the firstlings of your herds, or your cattle, or anything of the vows which you vow, not the free will offerings. That's in addition to the tenth that you're bringing. But you must eat them before the Lord your God in the place which the Lord your God shall choose, you and your sons and daughters, your manservants, your maidservants, and your Levites, who is within the gates, and you will rejoice before the Lord your God and all that you put in your hands. So I think maybe eating in church is not a bad thing. What is this? This is what is known as the festivity tithe. Here's another annual tax of 10%. Of what? Grain, wine, oil, firstlings of the herds, of the flock, and any other thing. Bring 10% of everything that you buy. And that would come under that broad scope. You give another 10. So you're giving 1/10, and then God says, here's the other 10th I want you to give. How much is that? 20%. Don't complain about 10%. How about 20%? What was that for? You took it. It says you took it to Jerusalem. You took it in the proper place down to the city of Jerusalem to be eaten by your family and Levites. It was a national potluck. Periodically during the year, they had these great festivities and feasts, and these great feasts, and they were to take the tenth of all that they had for all the great festivals. And their intention was to support national worship, to expand religion, to expand the community of people, and to bring about New Orleans. Mardi Gras. Somebody has to pay. Mardi Gras. Somebody has to pay for that. 10% of all New Orleans money goes to put on this big festivity. It takes money for them to. So this is what they did. So the first tenth that the Jews paid of taxes went to support the national government, to pay the salaries, if you will, provide the food and the resources needed by the people who ran the nation. The second tenth went to cultivate the culture of the national life. Not unlike our taxes, some of it goes for the salaries of those who are in official capacity. Others go to maintain our national life. National parks, rest areas. I like the rest areas, don't you? To pull over, where's the next rest area? 44 miles. Oh my goodness. Our taxes pay for the national, I'm glad, and they'll close down when they don't have enough money. The national parks. Some of it goes for that and so forth. Then I want you to notice, I'm almost finished. To Deuteronomy chapter 14. Deuteronomy 14. My wife will kill me if I don't quit. Deuteronomy 14. Verse 28. Ron? If you don't mind, please.
At the end of 3 years, thou shalt bring forth all the tithe of time increase the same year, and shall lay it up within thy gates. 29.
Yeah.
And the Levite, because he hath no part nor inheritance with thee, and the stranger and the fatherless and the widow which are within thy gate, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that the Lord thy God hath blessed thee in all the work of thine hands which thou doest.
So he has to get to the orphan, to the widow within the gates, shall come and eat and be satisfied. So anyone that was in the gates of Levites could come and eat. It's like a pantry. So everybody gave a tenth of their wealth. They brought it into the storehouse, and from the storehouse they supported the widows and the orphans.
So that explains why they wanted the goods.
Yes.
Instead of money, because they could give those goods
right
to the people that
That's
need.
true. That's interesting. Because they wanted to feed widows and orphans and people like that. Somebody had to come from somewhere. Government can't do good things if there's no money. Every time God gave them a tax, God promised if they paid it, He'd do what? He blessed them. He blessed them. Oh no, here comes the third tax. Phew, I'm getting hot. I'm sweating. I don't know whether it's my hormones shooting up or a hot flash, but I'm getting a tax flash. They paid it at the end of every what? Third year.
Third year.
So they paid a tenth, and let's say 3 1/3%. So now you have 23% tax. Per year. Then was paid the taxations. Not unlike the original tax in Egypt, which was also 20%, very similar. Now, these taxes were important. The first one paid the salaries of those who governed and ruled and led and judged the nation. You pay the preacher. Sorry. Hey, where'd that go? Do you know how much a president gets? Do you know how much they get for a speech? Do you know how much the Clintons make $23 million on speeches?
A year.
A year. Hello, I'm going to start giving my speeches, John, are excellent. Don't I give good speeches, John?
You might as well decide you had an agree.
Yes.
Be the smart thing to do.
The second one cultivated national life, and the third one took care of the poor, the orphans, and the widows. It was a welfare tax. The sum comes up to 23+%. Those three taxes, tithes, then took off the top of everybody's blessings and shared it with, made the nations. So what churches have done on occasion is they say, and I always say this, here's what I say. Here's what I say. Give off the top. Give off the top. Top. Give. Off the top. So if you made $300 a week, give off the top. No, I would give off what's down here. $1.63. When it's all over with, right? When all the taxes are taken out, is $167.23, right?
Yes.
This is gross. Gross. And this is net. This is what you got left over. So here's what you say. Okay, let's take that. Well, now let's see. Out of that $167, I'm going to have. Let's see.
Electric.
The electric is. That's a month. Let's say electric will be $30 a week, and mine was $125. And then you've got oil. My oil was 200. How much was it? Maybe 230 for 100 gallons. So let's go with $23. And then I have to have food, $50 a week. And then I have bowling and playing golf. There's TV. There is direct TV. And then there is some entertainment. And there's a house payment. And so it looks like I'm in the whole $212. Right? Now you say, I have nothing to give God. Oh, it's gasoline. Gasoline. So that's another $60 a week. So I'm in the whole $270 a week.
You got your cell phone.
Oh, the cell phone. My cell phone last month was $325. Because they overcharged me, so now it's down to $210 a month. And then there is life insurance, $190 a month for charity. If I die, I'm paying $190 a month for charity, and if I die, she'll get $50,000. So it's a savings account. And then there is $303 for house insurance and car insurance.
Your house repairs.
I don't have any house repairs. So Bill come over. And, so, you know, by the time it's over with, I'm broke.